Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling something absolutely fundamental, really key for getting ahead, whether it's career stuff or just life. People skills, soft skills.
Exactly. And we're not just throwing out vague advice here.
Yo,
We're actually digging into a structured program. From IBM, no less,
That's
on
true.
Coursera. It's their people and soft skills for professional and personal success specialization.
right. And for too long, these skills have been seen as maybe secondary,
Yeah.
the nice to have.
Yeah, things you just sort of pick up along the way, supposedly.
But what IBM does, and what's so interesting, is they formalize it. They treat these skills like the core drivers they actually are.
And that's our mission for this deep dive, really, to pull out the most valuable nuggets from this whole 6-course specialization.
We want to give you the essence, why these skills matter, what they actually look like in practice.
Kind of a shortcut, right? Without you needing to wade through all 6 courses yourself. Think of it as the cheat sheet to understanding what really moves the needle.
And here's something that really grabbed me. There's this study, Harvard, Carnegie Foundation, Stanford Research Center.
Oh, yeah, that one.
It basically dropped a bombshell. It concluded that 85% of job success comes down to well-developed soft and people skills.
85%.
Yeah. Only 15% is down to the technical skills, the knowledge.
Yeah.
That's staggering, isn't it?
It absolutely is. It really makes you stop and think, are we focusing on the right things? Where are we putting our development energy?
Yeah.
And that statistic, it really underpins IBM's whole philosophy here.
How so?
Well, they've even started calling soft skills and people skills things like success skills or even hot skills.
Success skills, hot skills. I like that.
It's a clear signal, right? They're saying these aren't just extras. They're the fundamental engine for achieving things today.
Okay, so this IBM specialization, it's 6 courses. Let's quickly list them.
Sure.
You've got Collaborate Effectively for Professional Success, then Present with Purpose, Create, Deliver Effective Presentations,
Then there's delivering quality work with agility.
Solving Problems with Creative and Critical Thinking, Developing Interpersonal Skills, and finally an assessment course.
Right, the people and soft skills assessment.
Now, okay, 6 courses sounds like maybe a lot of work.
It can seem that way.
But our goal here isn't to replicate the whole thing. It's to synthesize those core ideas, the actionable stuff you can actually use, like right away.
And it's worth mentioning who this is really aimed at. IBM says it's for anyone, really, regardless of age or where you are in your career. But it seems especially valuable if you're maybe just starting out.
Makes sense. Building that foundation early.
Exactly. And the flexibility is a big plus, too. They reckon you can do it in about a month, maybe 10 hours a week.
10 hours a week for a month.
Yeah.
That's doable for most people.
Yeah, and you can use the Coursera app on your phone or just a web browser, so it fits into a busy schedule,
Okay, great. So let's get down to brass tacks then. Course 1, collaboration. We all hear be a team player, but what does this course actually teach? What are the concrete takeaways?
Well, one really key insight is likely understanding how teams actually develop. The different stages.
Like forming, storming,
Yeah,
that stuff.
exactly. Forming, storming, norming, performing. Just recognizing which stage your team is in. That can totally change how you approach things.
How so?
Well, like in the forming stage, everyone's polite, figuring things out. So you need clear roles, clear direction.
Right.
But then you hit storming and conflict bubbles up. That's when you need to focus on resolving disagreements, open communication. It's a practical lens.
That is useful. It's not just abstract teamwork, it's understanding the dynamics.
Hmm.
Okay, next up, presentations. We've all sat through bad ones.
Oh boy, haven't we?
So what makes a presentation impactful, according to IBM? What's the secret sauce?
The focus seems to be on really connecting with your audience, making it memorable, not just an information dump. They probably talk about techniques like storytelling, maybe using the STAR method, situation, task, action, result to structure examples.
STAR method, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Makes sense for telling a clear story.
Yeah, it's simple, but really effective. And it's not just what you say, but how. So things like managing nerves, using visuals effectively, not just, text-filled slides.
Good point. Avoid death by PowerPoint.
Okay.
The STAR method, that's a concrete tool you can use. Next, delivering quality work with agility. Agility is a big buzzword. What does it actually mean here?
Yeah, it's everywhere. Here, it's not just about being fast. It's more about being adaptable, responsive, while still hitting that high-quality bar.
Adaptable and quality. How do those work together?
Well, the course likely stresses focusing on the client, whoever receives your work, internally or externally, and getting feedback often, iteratively.
Ah, okay, so not just working in a silo for weeks.
Exactly. Think lean principles, maybe? Deliver value in smaller chunks, get feedback, adjust. Don't wait until the very end to find out you missed the mark. It's about taking ownership, seeking that feedback. That's how you become trusted.
Right, being effective and efficient, keeping the end user in mind. Makes sense. Okay, moving on. Solving problems with creative and critical thinking. Definitely a skill everyone needs. What's a practical takeaway here?
This one probably gives you a solid process, a framework for tackling problems.
Like steps to follow.
Yeah, maybe something like, first, clearly define the actual problem, then analyze, find the root causes, not just the symptoms.
Okay, dig deeper.
Right. Then brainstorm potential solutions, weigh them up, choose the best one, implement it, and then, crucially, monitor if it actually worked.
That structured approach is key, isn't it? Moving past the quick fixes.
Absolutely. The critical thinking part is about really understanding why the problem exists before you jump to solutions.
Got it. Now, developing interpersonal skills. This feels like, well, the foundation for everything else we've talked about.
Yeah. It really is central, yeah. This is where the part of people skills comes in strongest.
So what specific areas does it cover?
Probably a lot on communication styles. Recognizing your own style, recognizing others, and adapting how you interact.
Adapting.
Yeah, that's important.
Hugely. And active listening is almost certainly a big component. Really hearing what people are saying, the intent behind the words.
Not just waiting for your turn to talk.
Active listening. Harder than it sounds sometimes.
It takes practice. And then there's conflict. Understanding different ways people respond to conflict. Do you avoid it? Compete? Collaborate? Compromise? Accommodate?
Knowing your own style and maybe recognizing others.
Exactly. That understanding can massively improve how you handle disagreements, build trust, build influence. It's all connected.
It's fascinating, really. And you mentioned connections. I notice looking through the course outlines that some skills just keep popping up.
Oh, definitely. If you scan the skills you'll gain list for each course, you see themes repeating.
Like what? Things like interpersonal communications, obviously, conflict management, creative problem solving. Active listening keeps coming back.
Right.
Persuasive communication, collaboration, public speaking, even stuff like professional development, social skills, working in virtual teams.
So the fact that they repeat, it just underlines how fundamental they are.
Precisely. They're not isolated skills. They weave together. They're the core toolkit for professional success.
And this isn't just reading about theories, is it? IBM seems big on applying this stuff.
Absolutely. That's a key part of the Coursera approach generally, and certainly here.
Yeah.
You'll find real-world examples, scenarios, maybe case studies worked in.
To make it practical.
Yeah. And that final assessment course, the one with mini case studies, that really signals the goal. Making sure you can use these skills in situations that feel real. It's about getting past just understanding the concept to actually mastering the application.
So if you're listening to this, thinking about your own career path, what are the real tangible benefits of putting time into these success skills, maybe through this specialization?
Look, the benefits are pretty substantial, I'd say. When you sharpen these skills, you're genuinely giving yourself an edge.
A competitive advantage.
Definitely. You become better at working with others, getting your ideas across persuasively, tackling tricky problems, building solid relationships, all things employers desperately want.
And things that just make work and life easier.
Right. Plus, finishing the specialization gets you that IBM certificate. That's something tangible you can put on your LinkedIn, on your resume. It shows you've actively invested in these crucial areas.
Okay, so let's try and pull this all together,
Yeah.
this deep dive into the IBM Coursera specialization. It really highlights a powerful truth, doesn't it?
It does.
These soft skills,
Yeah.
people skills, whatever you call them, IBM calls them success skills or hot skills, they're not just fluff.
Not all.
The stats back it up. They're foundational for success, career success, personal success.
Exactly. And the big takeaway for you, the learner, is that consciously putting time and effort here into these often kind of neglected areas,
Yeah.
it can give you huge returns, maybe even more than just piling on more technical expertise, surprisingly.
So thinking back to that striking 85-15 split we mentioned right at the beginning,
Yeah, that number again.
here's a final thought for you to chew on. What's maybe one specific people or soft skill you could intentionally decide to work on starting soon?
Just one to start.
Yeah. And how might focusing actively on that skill maybe reshape how you approach your goals professionally or personally?
It's a powerful question, and perhaps this chat has even made you curious enough to check out the full IBM specialization on Coursera for a deeper dive.
Could be. We'll definitely be back soon with another deep dive into useful resources to help you keep growing.